thanks so much for getting together to talk about your physical activity plan. Let's just start by talking about some goals that you have for your fitness.
Um, well, I used to work out a lot, but I just haven't really had time, so I would just say to get started with a routine. Um, Work has been kind of chaotic and get home late, try to sleep in to get adequate sleep, so just trying to find a routine to get back into it. Yeah.
Okay, so how about starting with maybe some really short term goals? What do you think would be something that you could feasibly do that would make a small change towards your goals?
I guess just working out in general, or like setting aside 2 to 3 days a week to set aside time to do that.
And how does that compare to what you would hope to do in the long term?
Long term, obviously, like just be generally more active and stuff like that. But I would guess short term would lead to more long term goals in terms of getting in a routine and working out again and uh, making healthier eating decisions and just getting um, the routines in place.
What are some of the benefits that you see to making these changes?
Uh, Overall, healthier lifestyle, more energy, um, just overall uh, you know, uh, just watching my health and getting better routines and uh, yeah.
And would you say you have any barriers in your day to day life that are hindering your ability to achieve these goals?
Yeah. Um, I would just say the time I have available to work. I typically work anywhere between 12 to 14 hours, and I get home roughly around midnight, and I go into work roughly around 9:30. So those are kind of my barriers. I basically start work at 10 o'clock, so I have to be up for work around 8:30, and then I work until like midnight.
Are there any times during your day at work that you could fit in any movement to kind of get towards that short term goal of two to
Well,
three
I'm
days a week?
constantly on my feet and moving around, so I am moving and I am walking and stuff like that. But in terms of time during the day, no. Like to set aside, time during the day, no.
And so you'd say that what you do on your day to day right now is not meeting what your goals are for the long term.
Correct.
And you said that you used to have an exercise routine. What has changed about your lifestyle or anything kind of in your life that has kind of gotten you away from what you used to do?
Less demanding job um, in terms of hours. I was still in the same industry, the restaurant industry, but um, I had more time and my schedule was a little different where I had much more time in the morning and I would go in later.
Is there any day during the week that you could dedicate towards a physical activity routine, or right now it's kind of all week long? You don't have any days that you have time to set aside.
I guess on my days off, I could try um, to do that, um, but many times it's catching up on sleep or catching up on life.
Yeah.
But it could be on my days off, which are typically 1 to 2 days a week.
So, on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate your motivation to get started in a new kind of exercise routine?
Um, I would say I'm motivated to do it. I would say about a 7. Um, but the actual reality of it, it's kind of daunting.
Yeah. I mean, you say a 7. Why is it a 7 and not like a 2 or a 3?
because I do want to do it, and I do want to. I enjoyed when I went to the gym much more, and just like my overall health and how I felt and my energy and things like that. So I certainly was happier during that. So that's getting back to that sort of like eating better, having an exercise routine, setting aside time for myself personally, um, was a that's more of what I desire
Mm-hmm.
rather than it being a two or a three.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like it might be a multifactorial kind of approach for you. You want to get into an exercise routine, but you also want to get into kind of a new uh, kind of food pattern, or at least be thinking about that at the same time as you approach your exercise plan. Does that sound kind of
Yeah.
like on the right path? So if you do decide to make some changes in your fitness regimen, how do you think you'll approach that? How do you think you'll do that in your life today?
Not really sure, to be honest.
So that's something that we can work together on.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any is there any flexibility in your schedule to kind of make some time, or do you think you'll
Right
have to
now,
wait?
it's just limited to my days off.
Okay. We can definitely work with that. So what it sounds like is you definitely want to get back into some sort of exercise routine, but your time is definitely very limited. We could probably think about doing some things, maybe really short exercises before or after you get off of your shift, but to focus on longer exercises or kind of uh, you know dedicated time to focus on fitness on your days off. Does that kind of sound like something that you would be interested in and be able to focus on?
Yeah, for the most part, but the things after work,
Yeah,
definitely
so
not.
probably before work or on your days off.
Yeah.
Excellent. So at our next meeting, we can talk about kind of a concrete plan and discuss potential workouts that might fit into your schedule and get started.
Okay.
Thank you so much.